Hello and a very warm welcome to Women's World, a program especially related to women, and I'm Dechen with the program. In this edition, we'll talk about women empowerment under the leadership of His Majesty the 4th Druk Gyalpo, Jigme Singye Wangchuck. His Majesty the 4th Druk Gyalpo, Jigme Singye Wangchuck's farsightedness even covered women's empowerment. This, His Majesty the Druk Gyalpo initiated by giving some very important posts to capable and educated women. 73-year-old Tashu Gagilham is the first Bhutanese women officer to have received Burra Map or the Red Scarf from His Majesty the 4th Druk Gyalpo in 1993. She is also the first woman judge in the country. Born in 1943, it was very rare for women to be educated during the time. So let's hear from Tashu Gagilham how she managed to go to school.
Sometime in 1952, I think our third king got married to Ajikazang, and at her brother Jigme Tashulinchit, he was the Hatum. So in her there was a big festival going on, and everybody from the house were invited. So I was quite small, so I, along with many children from my village, we rushed for that festival, and there we were given sweets and some money and then rice and so on. They called noji. So it was given that way, and while we were sitting in line, I think that time Tashulinchin, then Hatum, he along with some of his attendants, they came in the line, and random boys and girls, he selected about 13 girls and maybe around 15 boys were selected sometime in early 50s during the marriage of the third king. So that's how I happened to got enrolled in school at her.
Tashu Gagilham says getting educated was very difficult, especially with no motorable road network during the time.
After class 3, we go to India. That time there's no vehicle road. So you carry your own ration. From Har, you go down to the south. You walk from proper Har down to Samchi 5 days. You have to sleep 5 nights on the road under the tree. Mostly we try to go with the people who have horses. From school to home, it will take around 10 days. From Mussoorie, we have to go to Kalimpong because from there they give us some pocket expenses to go home. So from Mussoorie to Kalimpong, it takes 2 days. 2 nights by train, and then you come by bus up to Kalimpong. Then Kalimpong you halt for 1 or 2 days depending on the convenience, whether they are able to release the budget or not. Then we just push off from Kalimpong again by bus and go to Siliguri and come by train up to Banarhat. Then from Banarhat we go to Samchi, and Samchi, if it is a hot day, then there'll be people from Har coming down, selling oranges or doing some business. So we go with them. It's very difficult walking. You have to cook your own food while going home or coming back from home. In a way, you get dead tired, and then sometimes, children all small, you walk almost about 9 to 10 hours. By the time, you collect water and make some tea or cook your rice, or parents, they cook, the children are all fall off to sleep. Some parents come. So when they come, we go along with them. We request them to take us also, because you have to sleep under the tree. On the way, there's no settlement. So you have to camp in the paddy field, the fields are empty. 2 days I think you can get on the paddy field, but rest of the time you are under the tree or in the cave. If it doesn't rain or snow, it's okay. But when we go back, it is time for snow, and you don't have shoes. You put on this Bhutanese shoe with the leather attached to the cloth. When you walk too much on the snow, it all gets soaked with water. It's so heavy, you slip. It is difficult, but then we survived.
Tashu Gagilham started her career as a teacher at Thimphu Public School, currently known as Yanchifu High School, in 1965. She was in the profession for 28 years. It was in 1993 when she was appointed as the first woman judge and conferred Burra Map or the Red Scarf by the 4th Druk Gyalpo.
No, it was a big surprise for me because me from a simple background family, and all of a sudden when His Majesty commanded that you should go and work in High Court for a couple of years, it was sort of a shock for me. Being a teacher throughout my almost about 30 years of my service with the education department, it was something I do not know. I couldn't express myself also. I was so perplexed and confused. I being the senior most among the women who were working. His Majesty also commanded, saying that you are the eldest among the whole lot of them who are working, and you should go and experience. From teaching, you go to High Court and see how others do, and I'm sure you'll pick up. So that's how I was sent. Quite confusing also. I got quite scared also of how I'll be able to do justice to my work.
Let's find out how Tashu Gagilham coped up with the change in profession.
It was a big difference because I know nothing about the court procedure. But once I joined the High Court, we were provided with those law documents, books on Land Act and marriage and all those, whatever is done in the hearing of the cases relating to that. All those were given to us, and it's up to you to study and relate to your work. And the colleagues and the senior officers of the High Court, they were very cooperative, and I learnt a lot from them. And gradually I picked up, because the cases are not those international level ones. It's all from the village. Either it's on marriage or land or some property. It's all on those. So along with the experienced judges, I was able to do justice to my work.
Tashu Gagilham says His Majesty the 4th Druk Gyalpo, being far-sighted, realized the importance of women empowerment for development.
I think it is an indication that I was given the Red Scarf by His Majesty the 4th King, and gradually I think there were a couple of ladies also got a Red Scarf from the 4th King, and I'm sure likewise many will come up. Now when the road is set, I'm sure they all will come up. After I joined High Court, then there were quite a number of ladies became lawyers, and now they are serving in different parts of the country. And it's something, the change, development taking place in the country. Women are coming up, and I think our women should go forward instead of staying back. They can do if they want to, and if they have a will, I'm sure there's always a way. And I always pray to God and wish all the colleagues that they should go forward and try their very best in whatever capacity in serving the nation, the king, country and the people.
Tashu Gagilham says National Women's Association of Bhutan is an example to uplift women in the society.
National Women's Association, it was started sometime in 80s, I believe, under the chairmanship of Her Royal Highness Aysam Chudit, and Tashdavdum was the secretary. And in that, many of us, right from the village level, they had focal point in each Dzongkhak. And in Paru, when I was a teacher there, Tashu Dzongda's wife used to be the chairperson. So I used to be the secretary for any women's and to raise fund also. We used to work together. So in that respect, National Women's Association, we had SARC meetings also. Not only me, many women, I think, participated in women's meet in other countries also. I've been to Bangladesh, Denmark also, then Delhi a couple of times. These travels were like international women's meet, conferences. So with regard to women, I led a group of women's teacher delegation to India also. And then National Women's Association's India study tour, I led a group of about 15 ladies from all over the country. So in that way, in that respect, quite open, and you are sent, and your horizon, you go much beyond, like it's not limited to your own country, but then they send you out. Even I was sent to Beijing also, women's meet, and it was led by Aysam Chudit. So in that respect, I think women have importance. They give you importance and they send you, and you learn more from the other countries also while you are participating in such conferences or such meets.
We randomly got some views on the changes that have come about among Bhutanese women.
To the women, our fourth king has brought lots of changes as compared to the olden times. The most wondering change he has brought that I feel is the opportunity given to the women is the seat to participate in the parliament, where now our women also can be opened and she can stand on her feet. In this era, we can see many women compared to the men working and earning. Even in the schools, there are more number of girls students. From this statement above, we can make out how far we women have reached from illiterate to being a modern educated women.
Bhutanese women have come a long way and are said to enjoy equality and freedom compared to their counterparts in many regions of the world. The constitution also does not allow gender discrimination. But still, the number of women in decision-making positions, including politics, is very negligible. The president of Druk Sokpa, Lili Wangchuck, cites some of the social-cultural barriers holding women back.
When I talk about social, cultural and economic reasons, a woman grows up being treated within her own family, that a woman's role is confined more within the home. Women enjoy less freedom. Parents are also more protective about their daughters because they want to ensure the security of their daughters. And women are also not really encouraged, especially in rural communities and people from lower income background, to pursue higher education. The son would be given preference to pursue higher education, and the daughter would be expected to help the mother at home or earn some income to support the education of her brother. So the way a daughter gets treated at home, I think, kind of works as a social cultural barrier, because she grows up in an environment where a daughter is reminded that the most important thing is to find yourself a good husband, because your role in the society would be a homemaker. The sons have to complete their education because they have a more important role of supporting the entire family. So when a daughter grows up, she grows up with lower self-confidence, lower self-esteem, and also less ambitious than men.
The debate and discussion on poor women representation in politics also continues. According to the United Nations, women's participation should be around 30%, but in Bhutan, it's only 6.9%, way below the international standard. The former Chief Election Commissioner Tashukunzawande says, where women play active and major role, most difference is made.
It's a fact that where women play an active and major role, the family and home do well. When homes are better managed and communities tend to do well. Where communities do well, our nation certainly enjoys political stability, economic prosperity, and better well-being of the people. In all this, it is the women who make the most difference. We know that a woman is generally more committed to our well-being than men. We find that women devote more care and dedication to all causes. So it goes without saying that if more women take leadership roles and positions of authority and influence, progress of nation building would be even easier.
The president of Druk Sokpa, Lili Wangchuck, says it's important to have women at decision-making body. Tashukagilam agrees that it's important to have women participation in all spheres.
Yes, very much. Because I think women is one of the main force. Men and women together, I think it is our duty to progress our country. Because men alone will not be sufficient. So we have to give a helping hand, and we should go forward, developing our country, developing our mankind, women folks, even in village level. And I think now I believe more women will be joining in next 2016 year election, I believe. I hope they'll come up like I'm not capable or I won't be able to speak like men. Such talk, I hope it will not arise.
Meanwhile, organizations have been set up to help empower women like Renew and the National Commission for Women and Children. Tashukagilam says it is a privilege to be the first woman to have received the red scarf from His Majesty the 4th Gyalpo. Tashukagilam offers her prayers for His Majesty's well-being on the 60th birth anniversary of His Majesty the 4th Druk Gyalpo.
Me as a humble soul, I would like to pray to God for His Majesty's long life, good health, and shower the country with peace and happiness.
That's all we have for this edition of Women's World. Join us every Wednesdays and Sundays at 4:20 p.m. for more women-related issues. Till then, it's me, Dichnam, saying goodbye for now and see you next time.